Hello and very good evening to all of our viewers. This is WION Wallet. I am Sumit Chaturvedi. Let's see what is making headlines in the world of business this evening. India's Bajaj Auto has tied up with Britain's Triumph to make mid-capacity motorcycles in India. The two companies will take partnership forward through a non-equity deal. Google has fired the employee who penned a controversial memo claiming biological causes are the reasons there is a dearth of women in leadership roles in the tech industry. India's telecom regulator TRAI has accused iPhone maker Apple of engaging in data colonization in India and being anti-consumer. And a day after GST Council in India proposed hiking taxes on cars, mainly on luxury cars, Indian car makers have come forward to oppose the rise in taxes. Now straight to our top story, India's Bajaj Auto, the two-wheeler giant, has tied up with Britain's Triumph to make mid-capacity motorcycles in India. The two companies, Bajaj and Triumph, will make the partnership forward through a non-equity deal. The deal will help Triumph Motorcycles UK get access to emerging markets through Bajaj Auto's network. With the Triumph brand in its product range, partnership will also help Bajaj Auto in the international market. Established in 1902, UK-based Triumph Motorcycle is the largest maker of motorcycles in the UK at 65,000 units a year. Triumph has CKD or completely knocked down facilities in India where parts shipped from the UK are assembled. Currently, Triumph has 15 dealers across the country. So clearly we can say one deal which have been brewing in the deal space from the last some time has finally been seen in the Indian market. Bajaj Auto has tied up with Triumph Motorcycle of UK to make mid-capacity motorcycles in India, while Triumph will get access to emerging markets. On the other hand, Bajaj Auto will get access to global market. Bajaj Auto to gain foothold in many developed economies, including UK and many European nations. Bajaj Auto, UK-based Triumph Motorcycle, was established in 1902. So it's a more than 100-year-old company, and Triumph has completely knocked down facilities in India, which means that they are currently assembling the motorcycles in India. Well, Triumph has 15 dealers across India currently, and moving forward, this combined with Bajaj Auto's dealers will take the dealers number to much more dealers. So Bajaj Auto already has a partnership with Austria's KTM, through which it sells KTM motorcycles in India. So today the biggest news at this hour is that Bajaj Auto of India has tied up with Triumph of UK. Well, Triumph has been making motorcycles since more than 100 years. The deal will help Triumph Motorcycle get access to emerging markets through Bajaj Auto's network. Now, with the Triumph brand in its product range, the partnership will also help Bajaj Auto in the international market. UK-based Triumph Motorcycle is the largest maker of motorcycles in the UK. It makes 65,000 units a year, which is the largest in United Kingdom. Triumph already has a CKD or completely knocked down facilities in India where parts shipped from the UK are assembled. Currently, Triumph has 15 dealers across the country, and moving forward, after tying up with Bajaj Auto, the dealership number will go much more. We'll come back to story again, but let's stay with India. And telecom regulator in India, TRAI, has accused iPhone maker Apple of engaging in data colonization and being anti-consumer by not allowing customers to pass on details about pesky calls and unwanted messages to authorities as well as their mobile operators. The matter has remained unresolved over the last 1 year and has now led to an attack on the American electronics giant by R.S. Sharma, chairman of TRAI. TRAI is known as Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. It said that iPhone maker Apple is not allowing customers to pass on details about telemarketing calls and spam messages to authorities and their mobile operators. Reports say that provision of not having Do Not Disturb or DND over the iPhone has remained unresolved so far. It has been going like this for over a year now. This angered TRAI chairman R.S. Sharma, who went on to say that while Google's Android platform supports the DND app, Apple has just been discussing. They have not done anything so far on this issue. Last year in June, TRAI or Telecom Regulatory Authority of India had launched the DND app to enable the users to block unsolicited calls and messages. The app can access SMS details and call records from an individual's phone and enable them to report straight to TRAI on unwanted calls and messages. The US tech giant Apple has not allowed the app to access such information on its platform so far. And news from Indian auto space: a day after GST Council in India proposed hiking taxes on cars, mainly on luxury cars and SUVs, Indian car makers have come forward to oppose the rise in taxes. A rise in taxes is being proposed from 15% to 25%. Luxury car maker Mercedes-Benz said it is highly disappointed with the government decision. Car makers believe such decision will be a strong deterrent to the growth of luxury cars and its market in India. Luxury car makers say such step is retrograde one and will impact Make in India program of government as well. However, the rates may not be increased immediately as it will require an amendment to the GST compensation law. Sports utility vehicles or SUVs and top-end luxury cars are expected to cost more, with states and centres seeking to increase the cess on these vehicles to correct a so-called anomaly that crept in when goods and services tax rates were decided. So the plan of government is to increase the cess from 15% to 25%. Currently, the levy on these vehicles, including the 28% GST, adds up to 43%, which will rise to 50% once the law is amended. There are also plans to reduce rates on a number of other products. A higher cess, though, will leave the centre with more resources in the compensation fund that will be tapped to make good possible losses incurred by states due to GST rollout. So automakers are up in arms against the Indian government because GST Council here has planned to raise cess on automobiles, especially luxury ones, from 15% to 25%. And the car makers warn of production cuts and job losses in case GST Council goes ahead with its proposal to increase taxes on cars. The move will dent the Make in India initiative. It has been warned by car makers, including Mercedes-Benz in India, whose business will be hit most if GST Council goes ahead with increase in 10% levy on luxury cars and SUVs. Luxury car prices will go up by around 72,000 rupees to between 2.5 lakh rupees as well. And prices of SUVs, they were earlier cut between rupees 1 lakh to 3.5 lakh post July 1 when GST was implemented. Well, that is some kind of thing that have angered the authorities, and that's why they are going for more and more taxes on Indian automobiles, especially the luxury ones. And moving to Indian aviation news story, private low-cost carrier in India, GoAir, would start flying overseas from October this year. Initially, the airline would fly to the destinations of Asia and reviewing the destinations within the region. GoAir, which had ordered around 143 Airbus Neo A320 aircraft to the existing 24-strong fleet, had got the delivery of 5 of them only so far. India has relaxed overseas flying norms last year when 5/20 rule was relaxed. GoAir is low-cost carrier operated by Bajaj in India and competes with Indigo and SpiceJet. And let's talk about some global story. Let's talk about China trade data. It has come today. China has reported July exports were up 7.2% in dollar terms, while imports were up 11% in dollar terms. Both were lower than expected, though. Market watchers say they have kept their eyes on world's second largest economy ahead of a key Communist Party meeting in the fall. In June, China reported a 17.2% hike in imports and an 11.3% on-year rise in exports in dollar terms. The declines can be partly explained by negative price effects due to cooling producer price inflation. China's July trade balance was $46.74 billion, while the country's surplus with the US was $25 billion. A month earlier, Chinese customs data has shown China ran a $25 billion surplus with the US. The sharp decline in import growth since the beginning of the year suggests domestic inflation is declining and softening. So let's go back to the biggest story of the day in corporate India. This is India's Bajaj Auto is tying up with Triumph of UK. Well, we have joining of us Mr. Vimal Sambli, who is MD of Triumph India. Well, good evening to you, Mr. Sambli. First of all, we would like to ask you, what is the reason behind this tie-up between Bajaj Auto and Triumph India?
Hi, good evening. It's a fantastic news which we have shared with the media today. And as you know, Triumph Motorcycles and Bajaj Auto has announced a new partnership. The objective of this partnership is a non-equity partnership, is to deliver a range of outstanding mid-capacity motorcycles benefiting from the collective strength of the both companies.
And what are the contours of the deal, Mr. Sambli, going forward? How will you and Bajaj Auto divide the dealerships, the technology? What about that?
See, as of today, we have only made the first level of announcement, which is about the partnership between the two companies. This is a strategic partnership where we'll develop the products together. And these products which we develop together will have a good brand positioning and perception, design and development of technology, quality and cost competitiveness, and a worldwide distribution. That's the two brands will bring together. And as you know, this opportunity also allows us to cater to the new set of customers in India as well as globally.
And you know, you have certain plans of your own in Indian market. We have seen you launching new bikes every 2 to 3 months. Will those plans be impacted after you have tied up with Bajaj in any way?
See, in terms of the big bike strategy, that continues to be the same. That will continue to be done in our CKD plant in Manesar. And we will provide these kind of new products going forward as well. There is no impact on that strategy. As far as our dealerships are concerned in India, which we have 16 of them, 2 in pipeline. So I'm assuming we will continue selling these premium products through our dealership, which is a big bikes.
And Mr. Sambli, just give us a sense of since when these talks were going on and what led to finally, what kind of synergies you see between you and Bajaj Auto in India going forward?
I think, see, both Triumph and Bajaj, there's an excellent opportunity of this partnership about new market segments where we can enter together, and also the whole new group of motorcyclists across the world which we can approach with this product and this proposition.
Okay, and also one more thing I would like to ask you is that is there any kind of understanding between you and Bajaj Auto that there would be sharing of dealerships or some kind of synergies when it comes to servicing of big bikes? What kind of understanding as far as these things are concerned?
See, as far as today, if you would have gone through what we declared in the press, so today it's about the partnership of getting into a range of mid-capacity motorcycle, which will thereby bring us into a new segment altogether. And of course, both the partners will use their individual strengths to develop and market these products.
And just give us a sense of what kind of, big bike market is there in India, above 400cc, 500cc. How many units strong market is there?
If you look at 500cc plus market of last 4 to 5 years, so 5-6 years back, it was only 400 to 500 units per year. And last year, approximately 10,000 units per year were sold in this segment. So this segment is growing rapidly, and there's a lot of need and desire by the young customers in India to indulge into luxury and premium. I think today's strategic partnership will also help the customers in that category to experience Triumph and thereby get their premium and luxury accessibility done.
And one important aspect of this partnership is the technology sharing. So have you arrived at any kind of understanding with Bajaj Auto when it comes to technology sharing, and they giving some kind of low-cost technology to you and you giving high-cost technology to them?
I don't think that question is relevant here. What I can say is today there is a strategic partnership, which is a non-equity partnership to develop a range of outstanding mid-capacity motorcycles. Of course, they will be branded by Triumph, and they will be having design and development, technology, quality, almost like Triumph. And together, Bajaj and Triumph will bring this segment out.
And also, just last two questions, Mr. Sambli. In India, we are seeing TVS is tying up with BMW. You are coming with Bajaj Auto. So what is leading to all kind of situations? Like, what is the reason behind this?
See, I don't know about the rest, but I can only talk about Triumph, and I think about Indian market today, the mid-segment of motorcycle in India is growing, and there's an opportunity to grow. And there are very few players which today operate between 350 to 500 cc in India. And I see this segment as a stepping stone for big bikes from a commuter segment of a customer to jump in. So if you look at the commuter segment of motorcycles, which are typically 100, 125 and 150 cc's, and if they have to jump tomorrow to 650 cc's, there has to be a stepping stone segment, as I call it, and that stepping stone segment is going to be large eventually, because I expect today there are very limited players there, and with the synergy which Bajaj and Triumph can bring, you will have an excellent product proposition. You will have a great synergy in terms of bringing that product to the customers in India.
And one last question to you would be, Mr. Sambli, Bajaj Auto already has a tie-up with KTM of Austria, and you are already getting into this arrangement with Bajaj Auto. Do you think they'll be able to balance it very well with both foreign bike makers?
See, Bajaj is an outstanding company, as we have seen them in India, and they've done brilliantly well with many products, whether it was KTM, and their strategies are very clear and clean. And I can only talk on behalf of Triumph Motorcycle. Through this synergy, ultimately the customer who is going to get a product of Triumph is going to really have the same pedigree which Triumph has, is going to have the same experience which he today has in the big bike segment, and I think it's a win-win situation in the country like India.
All right, thank you so much for getting us all these details and talking to WION, Mr. Sambli. And staying with Auto World and coming to global news there, French automaker Renault has said it has signed a new joint venture deal in Iran following an initial partnership agreement struck last year, which Renault said would boost its growth in the country. Western companies, including Renault and French rival PSA, have returned to do business in Iran last year after an international deal to lift sanctions in return for curbs on Tehran's nuclear activities. Renault will be the majority shareholder of the new joint venture company formed with Iranian partners, Industrial Development and Renovation Organization of Iran and Pato Nigin, an importer of Renault products in Iran. This will also be Iran's first car plant after the sanctions were lifted off last year. And coffee chain Starbucks is facing a peculiar problem. Starbucks is shooting down a rumor that its coffee shops will give discounted drinks and food to undocumented immigrants on August 11. Starbucks Senior Vice President of Communications said that the rumor is completely false, 100% fake. The company also took to Twitter to shoot down fake advertisements promoting the so-called Dreamer Day. The bogus ads promise 40% off any menu item for undocumented immigrants on August 11. And Tesla electric car maker wants to raise $1.5 billion to help with the rollout of its relatively affordable Model 3 electric car. Elon Musk's company says it hoped to raise the cash in a bond offering to further strengthen its balance sheet during the period of rapid scaling with the launch of Model 3 and for general corporate purposes. The move comes a week after hedge fund manager warned that Model 3 could cause cash problems for Tesla, as the company was currently only capitalized for the next 3 quarters. The model will also naturally require more scale than earlier Tesla vehicles. And coming to tech space, where Google has fired the employee who penned a controversial memo on women and tech. The author wrote, among other things, that females suffered from more neuroticism. In a memo to employees, Google CEO Sundar Pichai said the employee who penned a controversial memo that claimed that women had biological issues that prevented them from being as successful as men in technology and had violated its model code of conduct. The post had crossed the line by advancing harmful gender stereotypes in our workplace. Google Pichai said. He also added, to suggest a group of our colleagues have traits that make them less biologically suited at work is offensive and not okay. The employee memo, which was up for days without action by Google, went viral within the search giant's internal discussion boards this weekend, with some decrying it and others defending it. Sources said the company's top executives have been struggling with how to deal with it and the fallout, trying to decide if its troubling content crossed a line. Google was at the center of controversy after a Google employee in a leaked internal document claimed that biological causes are the reasons that there is a dearth of women in leadership roles in the tech industry. So Google has finally fired the controversial employee who made remarks on women and technology. The Google CEO said that employee violated the code of conduct and that's why it is not allowed. Google CEO Pichai said that employee had crossed all the lines and that's why he is being fired. Employee had advanced harmful gender stereotypes. That was what was said by Google's Sundar Pichai. And employee's anti-diversity memo had sparked outrage on social media. He said that less women in tech because of biological reasons. Leaked memo said that. And 69% of Google's employees are men. That's why this has sparked outrage. People are wondering whether this is true or not. Gender-based discrimination in Silicon Valley is widely known and widely accepted fact. Now coming to Europe, where there is a fight among Europe and other countries that are in race to overtake each other for Brexit bank jobs. The latest to join the race is French capital Paris, that is aiming to beat Germany's Frankfurt to become the European Union's main financial center after Britain leaves. French finance minister said the country will take the difficult decisions and will lower French taxes to make the country more attractive. Since the UK voted last year to abandon the EU, France has been fighting with Germany and Ireland to grab a part of financial industry that plans to relocate out of London. But stiff rules on firing workers, high and volatile taxes have marred French efforts. It's only 5 years since the French president who came to power declaring that financiers were his enemies and slapped on 75% rate for top earners. Paris is hoping to lure 20,000 jobs from the UK as firms seek EU locations to secure continued market access to the bloc. France is also bidding to make Paris the new home of European Banking Authority, arguing that it can offer stability and continuity. HSBC, which has a French retail bank, said it may relocate as many as 1,000 traders to the French capital, while banks including Standard Chartered and Nomura Holdings also said they have picked Frankfurt. And Amazon's innovation in India are being adopted by companies' other teams from across the globe, including its European and US e-commerce arm. Some of these innovations are around mobile sellers' initiatives and enabling customers to sell used items on the Amazon. The retail giant has been pouring billions of dollars into the Indian market and is seen to have significantly narrowed the revenue gap with e-commerce leader Flipkart in India. One of the successful innovations, called Seller Flex, allows a seller to make their location available for Amazon to store inventory and help them receive an additional stream of revenue. And let's talk about markets, where Indian markets closed in red today. Sensex was down 260 points at 32,014 points, while Nifty was down 78 points at 9,978 points. The market breadth was negative as 602 shares advanced against a decline of around 1,900 shares. Asian markets, though, were under losses after China's data came. Well, that's all today we have in this edition of WION Wallet. For more news and updates, stay tuned to WION, and thanks for watching us.